In this video we're going to add costings to our gas and electricity spreadsheet. If you haven't seen the original video, I'll put a link so you can get back to it and have a look. In the meantime, let's get going. So this is the gas and electric spreadsheet that we were working on, and if you remember, we did the years and we did the different units. But what I've decided to do, and I'll show you which column it's in, for this year I've decided to add in the costs. Now for the moment I'm only doing it for 2023 because we can end up with too much on the spreadsheet, so let's just keep it simple. So we're going to add in our costs for 2023, and then what we're going to do, and you'll see this on the chart, is I've actually switched off some of the original chart options, and now I'm just showing the costs. These are down here on this is called the secondary axes, and I'm just showing the units I've used. So the line indicates the cost on the chart. Sorry, the pillars indicate the cost and the line indicates the units. Yes, and bear in mind this is just for 2023 because I've switched the others off. So what we'll be doing, I'll be showing you how to add information. I'll be showing you how to adjust the chart that we used so you can include more information, and I'll be showing you how you can switch on and off information in your chart. So it's really easy to say, right, I want to use this column or I want to use this column. And then moving forward we can do that with the electricity one, and we can also maybe later on in another video put in our costs for 2022 if you wanted to go back and look at some retrospective figures. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off with what the spreadsheet looked like originally. This is our original spreadsheet then. I'm just going to move the chart over. Now when you highlight a chart, just be careful to get the edge of the chart. I always advise doing this on a laptop. Don't ever try and attempt it on a tablet or something. It's much easier. It's also much easier if you've got an external mouse rather than trying to use one of those little touch pads. Anyway, so we're going to move the chart. So just hover your mouse over the edge of the chart, think of that as the frame, and imagine you're carrying a big mirror around, and you would hold the frame and you'd move the mirror by holding the frame. You wouldn't hold the middle of it, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the frame just to move it over. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to add in the costs, so let's put in costs here. Okay, now you'll see it doesn't automatically take on the formatting, so what I'm going to use is my format painter. So I need to click in a cell where the format is. So I'm going to click in L, and do you know what, I'm going to change that colour. Let's change that colour, that font colour in L and K. So just highlight that and change that font to a lighter colour because I'm not sure the black shows up well enough. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I want to copy that format to column M. I need to click on the cell. Now we're going to use Format Painter. Think of Format Painter like a paint pot. So we're going to be dipping our paint in the pot, and then we're going to be painting over the column we want. So L1 is the paint pot. We're going to double click on the Format Painter, and the Format Painter is up here. Looks like a paintbrush, strangely enough. And then what we're going to do, we're going to double click on that. That's like dipping our paint in the pot, and then we're just going to draw the brush all the way down the column and let go, and that is like we're painting it from the original cell. And I'm going to switch off my format painter by going back to that button and clicking it. So with that, actually didn't copy the borders, so I'm going to have to put those in automatically, manually. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to go up to my borders button. If you don't remember where that is, it's up here, and I'm just going to choose the all borders option. There we go. So that looks quite good. Okay, so now I've got to go and fill in some figures, and I'll be back in a minute to show you what we're going to do with them. Now I don't know if you remember, or you might know this already, if you ever see these hashes here, they look pretty scary, but they just mean your column isn't wide enough, and all I need to do is come now when you widen the column, Excel's quite fussy about the way you do that, so I need to come to the top between the column M and N, so I'm on the line between them, and then I would just double click on that line. You've got to be in the right place. A lot of people sometimes resize columns by luck rather than judgment. So let's go in between the M and the N, double click, and it will make it to the widest option. And when you resize a column, it always affects the one on the left. So I wanted it all to column M, so I double clicked between the M and the N. I hope that's helpful. Okay, also I've formatted them as currency. If you're not sure how to do that, let me show you. So up at the top here, this is my formatting bar. I use this a lot, and all you would do would click on the arrow and choose currency. And again, a lot of people right click. That's fine, that works. It's not incorrect. I just find I quite like using the name box at the top. I also like it because when I click on any cell, it will change. So if at the moment it says currency, if you keep an eye on where it says currency and I click in elsewhere, you'll see it changes to general to reflect the contents. So it's always a good box to keep an eye on. Anyway, back to the job in hand. So right, we've got our costs in now, and I've really got too much information on my chart because I don't want to see the meter readings for 21 and 22. I just need to see the units and the costs. So I'll show you what I want to I basically just need to see this. Now if you wanted to leave your original chart there, in fact let's make a copy of the chart. So we're going to click on the chart that we did, and I'm going to do a nice little shortcut. It's Control D, and what Control D is, it will duplicate it. And so if I zoom in now, we've got two charts, there we go. So I'm going to pop that other one down the bottom, and I'm going to click on, use the one at the top. Yeah, Control D will duplicate an object, and it works for things like shapes, pictures, charts in Excel. Really handy. Okay, so let's zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. Lovely. There we go. Now, so this, we've still got a chart below to refer to, but this is the one, the top one is the one we want to change. I'm going to switch off the information I don't need. So first of all, click on your chart, make sure your cursor's on your chart. Remember, the cursor is the eyes and ears of Excel. Where your cursor is where Excel is looking. Okay, I'm going to go to this button over here, this filter button. It looks a bit like a funnel. It does, and that funnel allows me to choose different columns. So let's click on the funnel. If you've got older versions of Excel, you can do this. It's a little bit more fiddly. Okay, so what I can do, I can switch off the columns I don't need. So I don't need the units 2021, I don't need the units 2022, I do need 2023, and I do need costs, and then I can come right down the bottom and choose apply. So now you'll see my chart has changed, and it just switches off the information I don't need. So that's great. Now what I did on the example, if you remember, I had the costs as a column and the units as a line. So I'm going to change that. So I want you to click once on the line representing the costs, and then I want you to right click on that line again. Make sure your cursor is pointing at that line. I must say that just going to have a little moment here. Probably most of the things you do in Excel, some of the reasons people have problems is because they're not in the right place on the screen. And what you've got to think, they've spent a long time putting this screen together and thinking about where things go. So if you're in a different place, it's going to come up with a different option. Yes. So make sure your cursor is right on that line. We're going to right click and we're going to go change series chart type. Okay, and again it's very slightly different on other versions of Excel. This is 365. So now what we've got here, we've got our units, they're shown as a line, and our costs are also shown as a line. So I'm going to make the costs into a column. There we go. And I'm also going to tick that box that says secondary axes. So that gives me a key for the currency as well as a key for the units. It does. So it's useful to use that secondary axis when you've got something that's got a different denomination. Okay, choose OK. There we go. There we go. That's looking good. And all done. Now I could repeat that for the electric one. I could, so I've got the costs going there, and I've still got my chart down the bottom to show my units and how my units are going on. And then what we'll do in another video a bit later on is I'm going to add the costs in to 2022, and we can have a look, maybe having a chart to compare the two. I hope you found that useful. Have a go, and if you get really stuck, I can always provide you with the template. Let me know, but let me know any comments you've got. If you found this useful, if you found it a useful way to monitor your gas and electricity use. And do subscribe and follow us. What we're going to do eventually is I'm going to show you, we'll do one for water, and then we're going to do something that puts together the costs for each month for each bill. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and good luck with your working out your spend on your gas and electricity bill. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.